welcome back to Saxthorpe Farms. So this video would have come out last week, but the job you're about to see me start doing kind of derailed me. So we're in September. I decided that I wanted to plough field 20 on my own with the mulching plough and defend. And I got partway through and realized this is a freaking massive job and it's going to take me hours, and I just didn't have hours and hours to be able to do it. So that was kind of dumb on my part, and you'll see later on that I ended up changing it. What I have done, and I'm not sure where I've saved it, so that's annoying. I've sorted out all of the crop rotation and I'm going to try and find it, and I can talk you guys through it, because rather than doing 2 crop rotations, I've actually ended up doing 3 crop rotations. So I am probably going to not be talking too much about what's going on the screen for the next few moments, at least, while I load up a document on a different computer, because I think I did it as a Word document and I cannot open Word documents on the computer I'm recording the audio on. I know it's a whole process. There we go. Yep, it's on my laptop. So fields 22, 26 and 28. So this is some of our bigger fields. We're going to have a nice 3 crop rotation. And if I remember as I edit this, I'll put some of the bits up on the screen. So this is going to alternate between corn, oats and soybeans, and that they all have a 15% crop rotation bonus. And I get the rest of my notes up on the screen at the same time. Field 26 is going to have oats planted in it, so that I think is the field that had corn in it, and it's one of the fields that I want to get planted soon, because we can plant oats now. So that's the first group of fields. The next group, and these are some of them, they're also kind of geographically located quite close to each other as well, which is quite nice. The next group, one of the fields that we're working in now, field 20, but fields 18, 19, 20 and 30. This is a 4 crop rotation, and we're going to be doing carrots, wheat, sunflowers and corn. So I'm ploughing field 20 at the moment to put wheat in it. And these all have, apart from the sunflowers, these will have a reasonably good bonus, and again a bit of diversity of crops. And then the last 4 fields, 5, 8, 9 and 10, and later on you'll see me planting field 10 with barley. So we've got barley, beetroot, soybeans and sunflowers, so a few different crops there. Most of them have got a pretty good bonus, and it was a mixture of getting good bonuses and good diversity of planting, basically. But yeah, and that was so one of the, as you can see, we're into the night time already. So yeah, I used coarse plate in the end to do the ploughing, as I've talked over the crop rotation. It's the next morning now, we're into the new month, so we're selling off the beef. So we'll sell batches of 32 by 32 fresh ones, and you can see we make still about 27 grand per load. So what's that, about 54,000 pounds a month still on our beef cattle minus our feed cost, which is, you know, it's a nice thing. It keeps us doing something interesting. Yeah, so so part of the reason that I didn't do the video last week is I'll get to that. We're going to buy the feeder tractor. The feeder tractor that I want is in the sales. I wanted the T7 short wheelbase. It's in the sales. So we're going to get the 210 horsepower version. Seems like a nice amount. I'm going to get it with a front 3-point, because then we can also use it for, I did think about getting it with the front weight, just a feeder tractor. But then I thought, actually, get it with a 3-point. It's a 210 horsepower tractor. We can use it for a bunch of other jobs. Because there are times where actually we could make use of a 4th high horsepower tractor. So that's not a 2-track. I ended up using the MAN agro truck thingy to do the feeding last night, because all of the other tractors are down in the field waiting to do the thumbnail in the morning. I know. Yeah, so to talk about what you've just watched while I talked about crop rotation, we're going to sell the AgroStar as well. There's no point keeping that. I ended up, to speed that job up, I had 2 of the Deutzes ploughing and I had the other one mulching in front of them, and that made the job quite a lot quicker. By the time last week, by the time I'd faffed around with crop rotation and then spent a bunch of time ploughing on my own, I was like, this video is going to take me hours and I'm never going to get it finished. Which is why there was a bonus finally the old farm video last week. But yeah, I sat down yesterday and recorded this on the evening. So we're going to repair this tractor. Then, because it's up at 40 odd hours, we're going to give it a service. Although I'm not sure whether I had already. No, I don't think I'd serviced this one recently. Anyway, we've given it a service. That should make our repair costs cheaper. So I recorded this last night. So Monday evening, I'm finishing the commentary up on Tuesday. I am ahead on farm sim videos for the first time in forever. And I was playing this kind of tired, kind of headachy after a long day at work. So if you're following along my farm sim videos this week, they are all sponsored by a change in the weather and a resulting change in the status of my headaches and me being in quite a lot of pain for so far 2.5 days in a row. Yeah, I was going to buy fertilizer and then I thought, why the heck am I going to buy fertilizer when we're making fertilizer? But we have just been selling it directly, so I changed it to be on spawn. End up doing the same for the liquid fert so that we can start stockpiling some. Probably what I should do is get a silo or something to put it in so we can just store some, and then we can put it back to selling. I think that's a good idea. So the field, we ploughed that field. I'm now just going to work my way up the map with the 3 fields that I want to get planted in October. So this is the first one. I was just checking the working width of our sprayer, which is 36 meters. So we can do 36 meter tram lines. Barley going in here. So didn't bother putting fert in the seeder because I'm going to wait until we've generated some and then we'll just spread fert with fert spreader. Yeah, and for some reason I decided to put tram lines in here. What I'd forgotten, and I'm not sure if I need to update Proceed or not, is Proceed now works with VCA by default. So once I get into the up-down rows, I didn't need to have it on semi-automatic mode. I could have probably had it on automatic, but I'm so used to using it on semi-automatic mode that I kept it on there. And it's semi, not semi, in case any of my American friends want to correct me. I will speak how I speak. If you weren't going to correct me, thanks guys, you're awesome. That guy, I've forgotten his name. He jumped into my brain yesterday. I can't remember what caused him to. Mr. Methane, sorry, Methane. The guy who corrected me on one of my videos. Yeah. My brain is strange. I've spoken about it a few times, so yeah. He jumped into my brain, and it's kind of jumped back into my brain when I said semi, not semi. And I mean no offense to 99.99% of you that watch my content because you enjoy it. So please don't take offense. We're now going to start laying our first tram line in. So the idea being that it gets us into the field, and actually this time of year in the UK, if you're an amateur farming nerd like me, is really cool because as you drive around, you can see if there are fields that are set below the road, lower height than the roads you're driving on, you can see some of the tram lines really nicely. It's really cool. I should pay more attention, but yeah, it's quite interesting seeing some of the patterns that the farmers have used to spray their fields in the year. I know I've been asked a few times on, like on videos or when we've been doing them on streams for Terra Life stuff, why bother? And And in the real world, farmers do them to, I guess, essentially, I'm not an expert on this. If I'm wrong, you know, I'm applying a bit of common sense. You're saving seed because you're not planting seed where you're going to drive on. Um, it also makes it a bit easier because you just follow your lanes then. But yeah. Anyway, headlands done. So I did 3 headlands. I actually did the 3 headlands. Sometimes I'm a bit lazy and I only do 2 of the 3, but it's better if you do the 3 for that you need for doing proceed. And we're into the up down rows now. I've picked a really random angle, which is being hidden. Well, there is not showing at the moment, but basically I was trying to get it so that I was running roughly along the very wonky line that I drew for the headland. And we're on different heading to that I harvested on, and a similar-ish heading to last year's tram lines. So, but not quite the same. You can see last year's tram lines in the field running. We're just going past them now. So, again, in reality, there's maybe benefit in that if you had compaction, because your kit's not going to be compacting the same parts. I don't know. I'm really well out of my depth now into real world farming stuff. I should just shut up and maybe talk about the trees or something. Yeah. Oh, nice tractor. I don't know. I think by the time this video comes out, a bunch of people will be traveling to FarmCon. I am not, for a few reasons. Family commitments, obviously. You guys know I have family. I have a disabled wife, and that makes certainly traveling abroad for this kind of stuff hard. Obviously, I did Llama, but that was like 2 days. Expense, it's not cheap going abroad, and yeah, work. And these are not excuses. These are just me explaining in case people are wondering. I'm very busy with work at the moment, and also it's kind of intimidating. I've spoken a little bit about and I hadn't set the working width properly when I set up VCA. Yeah, I've spoken a little bit about some of the mental stuff and how my brain is, and yeah, I just about coped with Llama. FarmCon, I think at the moment would be a bit much. I think it would be a bit much. So yeah, I would love to go and meet all of the people, but I don't think my brain could deal with it at the moment. So those that are going, have an awesome time. I do have a bit of kind of FOMO, which is a term I hate, but yeah. In reality, I don't think I'd cope well with it at the moment. So instead, I will look forward to seeing the stuff that people tell us about. Don't know if Giants are going to be doing any broadcasting from FarmCon as they start talking about the stuff that's going to be in 25. It'd be cool if they did for those of us that aren't going to be there. It'd be really nice to see them sharing that stuff so that we can learn as well. Hopefully, thanks to some super slick editing, you won't even notice that I stopped recording for a moment then. Okay. Yeah, so I was talking about FarmCon, I think. Yeah, I really hope that Giants do share some of the information or any presentations or whatever with the community, particularly as there's bound to be stuff about FS25, and obviously people are thirsty for information about the new game. I did very briefly tune into a virtual farmer stream, and he was mentioning something that Kermit, community manager dude for the English community with Giants, had mentioned that weather is going to have an effect on crops. I know no more than that. I don't know where Kermit was speaking about that, but that was something that VF mentioned on one of his streams, and I kind of dislike that information is dribbling out like that. You know, it's like I don't want to have to watch 15 different content creators interviewing some random person, because, you know, I don't even know who interviewed Kermit for that information to be available. It's like, that's really, you know, if that kind of, if people are doing interviews, maybe Giant should post a link to it on, I don't know, their own blog, maybe, you know, if only they had a platform to share media with the community. I would guess it was maybe something that he did with a DJ, but I don't watch DJ stuff much. So yeah, you know, it's like, if you're going to share information about game features, then maybe make sure they're available to enough of the community. After another super slick break, I am home alone at the moment, and someone posted something through the door which annoyed one of the dogs. We are back, and I'm going to stop ranting. But yeah, that does frustrate me a little that Giants, well, I'm not going to stop ranting, obviously, because I'm still ranting. It frustrates me a little that Giants are sharing information about the new game, and you have to, you know, randomly watch the right video to learn the information. Yeah, that annoys me. Anyway, trying to put tramlines in and trying to blend them into kind of the main tramline, that worked relatively well. I need more strategies for doing stuff like that. I probably need to think more about how, when I'm spraying or spreading, I'm going to flow around the field once I've done the headland, to try and make it look better, because really, in FS, tramlines are a visual thing. And it's why I do them. I like the visual look of how a field with tramlines in the game looks. It does help with the spraying and the spreading a little bit, but yeah, it's why I like them. And so I need to think about that a little bit more. I might try and do that. I've got 2 more fields to plant this month, as I said at the beginning. So I'll try and have a think about how I might do that, because that would be kind of fun. It also helps if you turn the seeder on when you want to seed. I find that makes a really big difference. Yeah. So if you watched the Valley of the Old Farm video, then I was talking about maybe doing some videos on Greyback. Not sure how to pronounce that. I'm probably butchering it. Maybe bringing Glenlarden back. So let me know what you think about that. I'm also thinking maybe... So basically, I've got a bit of space in the schedule this week. And both I kind of miss playing. So, yeah. So, and I'm going to be traveling a lot. I'm going to be staying away a lot in the next month, basically, which means probably I'm going to have a lot of evenings in hotels with spare time to play video games, and hopefully not be so exhausted that I can't make content, and hopefully have good enough internet to upload said content. So yeah, I might try and bring one of those back. If you're not aware of it, Greyback, if I'm, again, probably butchering the pronunciation, is a series that I was streaming. Streaming at the moment is kind of hard because in the summer the dogs get really hot and unhappy in the evening, and so it's a bit more noisy. And so I'll probably start doing that again once the weather cools off a bit. But I thought I could maybe make some videos a bit like I did with the Valley of the Old Farm video last week, the bonus one, where I just kind of play for an hour and chat. And so it's a bit like a stream, but without the streaming element. It's a bit less stressful for me because I'm not live, and if I need to, I can stop. And I can do it up here away from the dogs, or if the dogs get noisy, I can edit it out. So yeah. That's kind of what I'm thinking. The other thing is I want to say thank you to the patrons and the YouTube channel members. Appreciate you guys supporting the channel. You are all awesome. A few new additions to the YouTube channel membership recently, and that is much appreciated. As I said in the Valley of the Old Farm video, that money has gone towards me building a mini ITX PC for streaming, because streaming off the laptop is a pain, which I've not really used for streaming yet, but I also use it when I'm traveling for content creation because it's a bit more powerful than the laptop. So yeah, it's actually I take both and then I use one for recording and one for editing and rendering, so I can render videos while I'm recording still. Anyway, this field is pretty much done. I have got the roller waiting in the field. I was going to have it running on Courseplay, but I couldn't get a Courseplay course that was going to interact well with me seeding, so we'll get that going afterwards. Yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed the video, and any comments, questions or suggestions, stick them below. We will be back on Saxthorpe Farms soon with more field work, which is cool. I'm enjoying getting back in the tractors and doing some field work. It's been fun. See you next time.